Good morning. As Doug mentioned, my name is Ailee Taylor, and my husband and I have planted in Staunton, just north of here. And I want to tell you, I've never looked at getting a loan as a spiritual experience. I'm a very operational person, very administrative, very operational. Those are my passions. And so if I think of financing in that realm, I'm not necessarily thinking of it from a spiritual perspective. But I will tell you that has changed drastically this year. It all started back in January when, after nearly 2 years of being a church plant, we had an opportunity, really an amazing opportunity, to purchase some property. Of course, the very first step in that process is trying to figure out how one will go about the financing process. Me being a very black and white operational person, I'm thinking, okay, you go to the bank. And very soon and very quickly, we learned of other churches that have used the BFI program for a church loan. Now, this was foreign to me, and so not wanting to dabble in something that was quite foreign, I was really focused on going the bank route. But thankfully, my husband is the leader of the church and the leader of our home, and he made the phone call to BFI. So it was really as simple as getting Doug in the door and having him speak to our church. And as soon as he did that, we were all able to see the beauty and the vision of keeping our resources within the kingdom of God, especially when it comes to financing and to all of the economics that is from that. Now, I must tell you that the vice president of the bank in our small town goes to our church. So you might think, oh golly, that's a very delicate situation. But she was in that room when Doug came to speak to our church. And of course, before that, she had told us, now I would be very happy to write your loan. But she sat and she listened to Doug, and she quickly agreed. She said, I can't top that. I just can't. Not only could she not top it from the cost perspective and all of the benefits that would be happening through the closing process, but she couldn't touch the spiritual factors. She couldn't touch the fact that that money is staying within the kingdom of God. And so it was really neat to see a unanimous approval among our church to go this route with our financing. Now, we're very thankful that the board was able to approve us and to open up our program, and it very quickly was funded, and we were able to close on that building ahead of time and with ease. So my operational side was more than impressed because it was actually easier than going through a bank. So since that time, what's really neat is every time we make a mortgage payment, it's not quite like making any other mortgage payment because you're thinking about the people that have made it possible and the fact that not only did they fund brick and mortar, but they funded salvations and they funded baptisms and they funded the ministry that has absolutely exploded since the moment we were able to have a permanent location for our church. So investors are not only reaping a financial reward, but they are directly connected to the spiritual impact that our church and others can have when they utilize this program. And then when we go and we make a payment, I know that we are putting back into those investors. Those investors are then, keeping that cycle of tithe going, and it's a beautiful cycle. We are keeping that money in the kingdom of God. And so now I look at loans as a very spiritual process, and the administration and the operations just come right along. But I can't say enough for how wonderful it's been to work with BFI and to work with Doug and his team and be able to ultimately grow our ministry. And I just want to say thank you.